Hi everyone, this is Anna from Koala Soap, and today I'm going to be making a basic flower embed soap in an oval mold. I'm going to be using this as a fondant mold. It's a pretty sturdy one. I know you guys have probably all seen it and maybe even have it. And then this little rose mold, it's kind of cool because it has different size roses. I think I'm going to be using two of these sizes today. I'm going to be using sawdust micas. I'm going to be using pink watermelon and tail green. I'm going to be using shea butter, melt and pour, and then I'm going to be using some crystal clear melt and pour. For the scent, I'm going to be using Eucalyptus by Tranquility, and we'll go ahead and get these melted and get started. Okay, so these are melted down. We're going to do the clear very last. We have to start making our embeds first. So what I'm going to be doing is mixing our mica in alcohol. Okay, first we'll do the tail green. And then we'll do the strawberry here. And we'll just mix it up. Okay, and we're going to get ready to add it into our shea butter. And there is a trick that one of the YouTubers told me about. So when we're adding the colorant, and you'll notice if you don't put a lot of alcohol in initially, you'll notice you have a lot of this left. So what you can do is you take your alcohol and you kind of can squirt it over, and you get pretty much all your color in there. And you don't really have the fumes because this is kind of acting as like a little hood. So there you go. So you can kind of see how you got most of it in there. We'll just mix it up. Okay, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm using this to pour it in. Pour it in slowly so that you kind of fill up all those little nooks and crannies. If you overfill, that's fine. You can fix that later. There's a few ways you can fix it. Okay, and so we'll let those set. Squirt it with some alcohol. Okay, and if you overfill it, I'm not sure if you can see this, but there's a little bit of overfill here, and I don't want to have to clean up so much later. So I'm going to take the spatula and take off the top part. I'm using the flat part, and I'm just going to gently slide it over. And that kind of cleans it up right there. And you can use this later, so I'm going to wait for that to dry, and I'll put it right back into my batter there. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mix the green. Okay, so we're going to get it nice and mixed up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually use the leaf part of this mold. It's got a really pretty rose in there, but I think it's really too big for this. So we're going to just use these little leaves here. And again, if you overfill, we know what to do. And that's why these spouted cups are so good too, because it's just a little bit more precise pouring. This has about 4 leaves in it. This one's a little over full here. There you go, I just wiped it off. And squirt with just a little bit of alcohol. And then we will wait for those to set. Okay, we're back and we're going to go ahead and unmold. I went ahead and filled up the third little flower in here. We're going to be making 2 sets. Oh, that looks really pretty. Look at that rose. Looks really nice. There was a little bit of, if you see like any skins there, just, you know, push it right back in. There's another one. This is the next smallest one, and you can see a little bit of skin there, and I'm just gonna, you can either take it off or fold it down. Okay. I actually like those roses. I like them more. I haven't used this little mold before. And here's our mini little one, and that's really pretty too. Okay, and our leaves. Okay. All right, so we have this. These actually look really good together too, these colors. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rewarm these up. We're gonna make another set. I'm not really too sure how much I can put into the mold, but I just wanna have enough just in case. Okay, so these are rewarmed up and they're not too warm. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put these off to here so they don't get in the way of anything or get destroyed. The first one I'm gonna do is the pink. Okay, I have my little spatula ready. I'm gonna do all 3. I really like that. I could try to do that little one, but you know, without my daughter here to show me I can barely see it. So I'm just gonna stick to the bigger ones here. Okay, gonna slide this through, squirt it down. All right, and now we will do the leaves. And let's go ahead and wipe this down because we're gonna be doing the same thing with the leaves. Okay, so we will, I think we'll do a couple of these. These are actually going separate ways, so I wanna make sure I have enough of each. These are a little bit easier to fill since they're not so little. Okay, this one I'm just gonna, just a little bit there. We'll squirt them down with alcohol. Okay, and we'll wait for these to set and then we'll get going on to phase 2. Okay, so these are done. We're gonna go ahead and unmold them. So all the little pieces here that we don't need, we're just gonna put back into our soap to be used later. And here's our leaves. So they look just as good. There you go. I made 4 this time just because I made more roses the last time, so. Okay, so the leaves are done. We'll put this off to the side. Now we'll do our roses. I'm really, really happy. This mold came in a set of 3 or 4, and you know, they've all been really good. The detail's been really great, so I'm really, really happy with this one. The leaves you can get anywhere. It's actually hard to find this one mold. I think I got it at Hobby Lobby. It's hard to find it online though, but I'll see if I can't find the link for you. So links to almost everything I'm using are in the description below. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we are going to take this and we're going to start melting our clear melt and pour. We're not going to use glitter or fragrance or anything in here because we don't want this to cloud up. So we're going to just make a couple soaps and let it set, and then we'll unmold it. So I'm going to go ahead and melt this down, and we'll be right back. Okay, we have it melted down. I'm not sure how hot it is. So it's pretty hot. It's in the 170s right now. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to let this cool. I'm going to go ahead, I can pour the first little layer because I'm not going to do anything with it till it cools down anyway. And it tends to cool down a little bit faster once I start pouring it. We only want to pour a very thin layer because we want these to be as close to the surface as possible. Okay, and then we'll squirt it with alcohol. And actually, now that we've poured it, see, it's already at 145. So if I'm going to wait for this to hit the 130s, I'm going to go ahead and we'll start placing these, at least our first layer. Okay, so these are now in the 120s. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to squirt these down generously with some alcohol, and I'm just going to start placing them in there, face down. Now, I'm not sure how many I'm going to be able to get in there, but I will try to get a few. Okay, we'll see what this is at. Okay, so this is at 148, so this is too hot to pour. These are setting, so I'm going to go ahead and wait for this to cool down, and we'll start pouring it on top. Okay, so this is now at 124. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour it slowly. We'll squirt these down. And I'm going to pour slowly from the side. Just enough to cover the rows. Squirt it with some alcohol. Okay. Once we pour this, of course, it gets a lot cooler. So this is already at 103. So we could actually, in 115, we could actually start placing these embeds. I just get a little nervous. So I'm just going to see how I'm going to arrange the leaves. As you can see, it really won't matter because if you have a different leaf mold, it's fine. As a matter of fact, it might even be better because these leaves are pretty big for this mold. So I'm trying to see which, some of them are just going opposite ways. I'm just trying to figure out what I have here. Okay, so I think we can go ahead and start placing them. $99 and $113. So it should be okay, and they won't. We'll just start placing them carefully. There. I'm not sure I'm going to have them overlap just yet. Whoops. Well, that one will. I want very little of the back to be showing, so. All right, and you're going to have to really be careful and pour slowly so you get underneath all of this. I want like the main fan part to be out so it covers more behind the soap. think that one I'll do for later. Okay, and this is starting to get a skin, so I can't really pour because it'll clump up. So I'm going to warm this up, and then we'll go ahead and we'll pour it on over these embeds. So what I've done is, because we still had a skin and it was still warm, I put a little bit of more of the clear melt and pour in, so I would be sure to have enough to cover these. So what I do is I only heated it for about 10 seconds, and there is a clump in there. I don't know if you can see it. And I'm just going to agitate it after I did the heat, because that'll melt it down, because I just really don't want to overheat this. If I overheat this, it'll probably start to get cloudy and you won't be able to see the embeds as well. I have done embeds with glycerin melt and pour so that the embeds were darker, but for some reason I think that these in a white base actually seem to show up better for me, and for me anyway, they just look more attractive. So let's see what we're at now. So we're at 144, and we have just a little clump still in there, so I'm just going to continue to agitate this just a little bit, and I'm going to wait for it to get down to, I would be more comfortable in maybe the 130, low 130s, before I start pouring it on top of these. Okay, so this is now at 130, and I want to be careful because I really don't want this to start to develop a skin. Okay, so you seem to be good. There's no colorant, there's no fragrance in this. The fragrance is all in the shea butter. Okay, so at 130, we'll go ahead and squirt it down with alcohol very generously. And I don't want to pour right on top. I'm going to pour on the side because some of these have a little bit of a lip from the one I accidentally dropped in there. So I'm trying to find the best place to pour in there. Very slowly. Give it time to fill up. I'm going to leave a little bit of room there, so because I have a couple of leaves left. And I want to put those on top. I really kind of want to hide the back. I don't want you to be able to see through the back at all. Now I know you will be able to a little bit because it's a clear, but I'm trying to make it so you don't do that. You can't really see through it too much. Let's see where we're at here. Okay, so 119, so we're good to go. And remember, there's a front and a back to this, depending on what leaf mold you use. Put that here. You kind of remind me of like lily pads. Put that one here. Put that one there. Probably could have used one or two more of the leaves maybe, but put this one right here. Okay. You have a little bit of a skin, but not much. That one I can just mix out, which I will do. Okay. Squirt, and in we go with the last little bit here. Oops, one of my pads moved. Try to keep it over there. Okay, squirt it with alcohol. If one, this pad's gonna move, but we'll see. I call it like a lily pad instead of a leaf, so sorry. Okay, squirt it down. Okay, so we're just gonna let these set and we'll be back to unmold. Okay, we're back and these are set. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen the ends. This particular mold, I guess if I could explain, it's the way it has a lip, it's almost like you're looking into a fishbowl. It's not just a straight oval, there's a lot of curves to it. All right, let's see how it looks. Oh, there you go. Isn't that pretty? That's really nice. Let's take a look at this one. Very nice. That looks really good. Okay guys, so there's another flower embed that we've done. I have some more embed videos coming up. These roses are beautiful. These roses are beautiful. There's just so much detail in that rose, even the little one. And the leaves, you know, maybe we could make them darker. I don't know. I kind of just like the colors the way they are. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a great week.